Alright guys, so for the past few days I've been going fix-it crazy. Friggin' fixed up this tractor a bit. Figured out why it wouldn't run properly and got it running a little better. Still finicky, but not bad. And I put on a shitload of belt holders under here. That's a stock one. There's one of mine. There's another one back there. Keep the belt on because it did pop off a lot. So this thing's running. I also fixed the steering by simply welding. Let's see if the camera will catch that down there. Okay, it's brightening up. There we go. Yeah, by welding a padlock in there to keep the steering tight against the gear. So now it doesn't pop and there's not a lot of play in it. A little bit, but nowhere near what it had before. So that's that one fixed up. Last night we put a big ass tranny plate on it. I pretty much did most of this one. Just a big plate under the tranny. Because of the way these tractors put force on the transmission, it actually tries to split it downwards. So it's bolted on at both ends. And I tacked the washers on this end because I was lazy and I just cut it to make it fit. So yeah, right there, just cut it. That end I actually drilled it out with the welder. Just burned some holes through the metal. And right in the center, under here, yeah, there's a giant piece of plate right under the nub of the transmission, so, you know, if I'm rock crawling or whatever, it won't hit the tranny, it'll actually hit that big steel nub. And as you can see from the weld marks, my bro did most of the welding on these. We tried it with a piece of pipe at first, but that piece of pipe is terrible and we just ended up burning holes in it. So then we ended up cutting off these dangly lawnmower lifter things that were on there and used those to brace the foot pegs because they were bending quite a bit. He also gave me a hand changing the carburetor because every time you shut it off it would piss gas everywhere. So we did a complete carb change on it, and that seems to have fixed the problem. It's the exact same carburetor as before, just I'm not sure what's wrong with this one. The float works, it won't leak while it's running, but once you shut it off, or if you tip the tractor over sideways and then plop it back down, it's like the float gets stuck and just ends up pissing gas everywhere. So this one seems to work a lot better. It's bone dry underneath. There's nothing, so I'm happy about that. There's still gas in the tank. I'm going to try rigging a pull start onto this one, even though it's a 450cc 12 horse. 465cc 12 horse. Because I think the starter's about to go. It skipped yesterday and now it sounds funny. So, it still works, but I don't want to have to rely on the electric start completely, because these types of tractors are almost impossible to pull start, even with like another running tractor. So that's a couple of things we did, both foot pegs. I put the battery box back in today. Yeah. So I have somewhere to stash the pull start pulley and stuff like that. Not sure if I'm actually going to run a battery in this tractor or not. Probably will, but not sure. And that's pretty much it. I think we did a couple more things. Oh yeah, welded this thing solid because it's holding the steering in place with the padlock back there, so that the steering's nice and tight. Well, tighter than it was. And I mean, it's got some broken pieces like there, and it's not a big deal. I might just like weld a plate down here so it can't move. Like I said, guys, it's the rent-a-tractor. This is also the one I'm going to be using just to run shit errands, like bring loads of bricks around from the front of the house or whatever, because on mine you got to ride the clutch the whole time. And it actually gets tiring on your hand, so this one you can just drop it into first or second gear and let her idle up the hills and everything, so. But, oh yeah, and this one does need a lower gear. It's also a very finicky engine because, actually I'm not sure why, but it just is. So I had to set up the throttle like this, because for this engine to want to idle, and it did this with both carburetors, you have to have the choke pretty much closed. This one's a little bit bent, but we got it that way. About there, so it'll idle, and then when you want to give it throttle, it has to be open, or it just coughs and sputters. So I had to rig up this little bar thing so the choke and throttle actually open at the same time. And with that, it actually runs pretty good. Me and Nate did some racing yesterday. Unfortunately, we didn't have anyone to get the video, but this one actually needs slightly lower gear ratio. So I'm gonna put a bigger gear on the motor, and it's not stock, but it's just not fast enough. Probably does 30, 35, 40 maybe if you're revving the crap out of it. I'd like it to do about 50 in fifth, max out. That way you can pick through the gears, or you can just, you know, do a wicked burnout or something. Also, when you're trying to drift on grass, you get about halfway through the, or you're trying to do a donut, you get about halfway through the donut, and then the tires grab because they're not spinning fast enough. So that's another problem. But that's about it. I have to figure out, there's an electrical problem in here somewhere. For a while I was able to start it from the battery terminals at the back, and now it doesn't work. So there's something wrong. I'm guessing it's just a fuse, or the relay has become disconnected or stopped working. Other than that, guys, that's about it.